Welcome back to another video solving past paper. And in this video, we will solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 2, which is the extended paper. And this exam is on February-March 2023. And remember, we are allowed to use a calculator where appropriate. All right, the first question. From the list of the numbers, write down a cube number. So a cube number would be 27, right? Because 3 cubed is 27. And a prime number. As we know, a prime number has only 2 factors, that is 1 and itself. So that is number 29. All right, question 2. We have 2 vectors and we have to find out the difference between these 2 vectors. So simply just take the x values minus together, and we have -1 minus 2, which is -3. And then take the y minus the y. So we have 3 minus y, which is -2. And how about when we multiply by a number, then simply just multiply both on the x and the y axis. So that will become -2 and 6. Question 3 is about Venn diagram. We have to shade the region A and B. All right, so the A and B is the overlap area, which is here. Number 4, we have to find out the next number in this sequence. So let's see the term-to-term rule here. So from 23 to 17, we minus 6, right? And then subtract 6, and then subtract 6. So the next one would be 5 minus 6, which is -1. And how about finding the nth term of this sequence? All right, so this is the first term, the second term, the third, the fourth, etc. And pay attention to this number. So let's see, 17 is going to be 23 minus 6. So we will rewrite the number 17 as 23 minus 6. And number 11 is going to be 23 minus 6 times 2. And number 5 is 23 minus 6 times 3. So we can see the pattern here. The number that is multiplied with number 6. Here's 1, 2, 3, and apparently that one is 0, right? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3. So the number that is multiplied with number 6 is always less than the position only just 1 unit. So we can write the nth term as this formula. So 23 minus 6 times n minus 1. All right, so it's time to simplify this. 23 minus 6n minus, plus 6. So we have 29 minus 6n. We will put the answer here. Question 5 is about factorizing this calculation, this expression. We have hg minus 2g to the power of 2. So let's put the common numbers outside, the common coefficient outside. So that is number 2, right? And then put the common variable, that is letter g, with the lowest power. So in the bracket we have 4 and then minus g. All right, so we have already factorized this expression completely. So just write out the answer here. Number 6 is about working out this calculation without using a calculator. So this is the division by an integer, so we can change to the multiplication of the reciprocal of that number. So 4/7 multiplied by 1/8. And then take the two numerators, 4 times 1, 7 times 8. 4 times 1 is 4, 7 times 8 is 56. All right, so this one is simplified as 1/14. Question 7, solve this equation. All right, so it's time to, plus the both sides by t, so that in that way we can eliminate the t here. So 16t, and then we will subtract both sides by number 8. So number 8 would be omitted from the left side, and then from the right side we have 4 minus 8. So now 16t is -4. So t is -4 divided by 16, which is, all right, so this number. So t is -1/4. All right, how about this? A numerator divided by denominator equals to number 2. So that one is 25 minus 2u equals 2 times 3, which is number 6. So -2u equals 25. Because so we will plus on both sides by 2u, right? So 2u is onto the right, and onto the left we have 25 minus 6, and this one is 19, right? This one is the 19. 19 equals 2u, so u is 19 divided by 2. 19 divided by 2. All right, question 8. We have to calculate this number and then give the answer in standard form. So 0.3 squared is going to be 0. All right, I think it's 0.09. No, that's correct, 0.09. But we need to change to the standard form, so that is 9 times 10 to the power of -2. All right, question 9. Solve the simultaneous equations. So we have two ways to solve this, and I recommend to use the substitution method because that one is straightforward. So let's take the x in the second equation. So x equals 3 minus y. So let's put this one as number 1. Plug x equals 3 minus y into 1. We have 3 times 3 minus y minus 2y equals 19. So 3 times 3 is 9, minus 3, 9. 3y minus 2y is 19. All right, so 9 minus 19 is going to be 5y. So that is -10 is 5y. So y is, or we can say that -2 is y. All right, so the answer is y is -2. And how about the x? Because x is 3 minus y, right? So x is 3 minus -2, which is 5. And number 10, we have the diagram showing two lines AB and CD parallel, and we have to find out the length of BC. All right, BC. We can easily find out that these two triangles are similar, right? Because we have two lines parallel, two parallel lines. It means that these two angles are equal because they are in the alternating position, and these two angles are equal. All right, so we have two pairs of angles are equal in size, so these two triangles would be similar. All right, so we would write down here. We have A, B, X, and pay attention to the order of the vertex. So AB, so A would correspond to the D, right? So D, and then B would correspond to the C. All right, ABX and DCX are similar. And we have to provide the proof for that. Provide the reason for that is because ABC equals to B. All right, so ABC is equal to BCD, and BAD. All right, I think I will write it down in the form of this. It is going to be easier for you to understand. BC. All right, so this one is BC XCD, right? XCD. So this one is BAX equals XDC. All right. Just two pairs of angles are enough. Two pairs of them are equal in size, so we can infer that these two triangles are similar. All right. So once we have these two triangles are similar, then triangle and triangle. Then we have the expression or the ratio, right? So we have AB over DC, right? AB over DC is going to be equal to BX over CX, and it's going to be equal to AX over DX. All right. So let's plug these values into this expression. So we have AB is 3 divided by 7.5 is BX 2.7 divided by CX equals so I think we don't need to write down the last one. All right, because we just need to find the length of BC, right? But we know the length of BX, so it is very important to find out the CX without finding the length of DX. So we will cross the last one out, and then it's time to solve for CX. So then CX is 7.5 times 2.7 divided by 3, 6.75. So we have BC is BX plus CX, which is 2.7 plus 6.75. All right, so 2.7 plus 6.75. So the answer is 9.45. All right. Find the highest common factor of this one and this one. All right, so because we are dealing with coefficient and the variable. So first of all, we need to find out the highest common factor of these two coefficients. So there is 12, 16. And the highest common factor would be number 4. And next we will find out the highest common factor of x to the power 12 and x to the power 16. And we have x to the power 12. So the highest common factor of 12, x to the power 12, and 16, x to the 16, is going to be 4x to the 12. So 4x to the 12 would be put here. In a regular polygon, the interior angle and the exterior angle are in the ratio that is interior divided by exterior is going to be 11 divided by 1. So we will write the ratio in the form of fraction. So in divided by x is 11 divided by 1. So we need to find the number of sides of this regular polygon. Alright, so we can change this one a little bit. So change the position of, swap the place of the second denominator with the first. Alright, so swap the place between the second numerator with the first denominator. All right, so this one would become the interior divided by 11 equals to exterior divided by 1. And that would equal to, take the sum of two numerators, so interior plus exterior, and then divided by 11 plus 1. As we know, the interior and exterior would have the sum of 180 degrees. All right, so for example, let's say I have this polygon like this. All right, so that one would be the interior and that one would be the exterior, right? And the sum of them is 180 degrees. So that one is 180 divided by 12. So now we can easily work out the value of the exterior angle. It's going to be 180 divided by 12, and we have 15. All right, 15 degrees. And we also know that in a regular polygon, the sum of all the exterior angles is going to be 360 degrees. So this is the size of just one of them. So take 360 degrees divided by the size of each of them, we would have the number of sides of this polygon. All right, so we have 24. So that is 24 sides of this polygon. The next question. In the diagram of the speed-time graph, then we need to calculate the total distance traveled during the 10 seconds. The 10 seconds is from 0 to 10, and the distance traveled is going to be the area under the graph. So this area. So that is the sum of the area of the rectangle and a triangle. All right, so the distance, right? The distance, total distance is going to be the area of the trapezium. All right, and this trapezium is going to be the sum of rectangle plus area of a triangle. All right, so the sum of rectangle is 8 times 10, and plus 1 over 2 times the area of a triangle is going to be 10 minus 8, right? 10 minus 8. And then multiply with the height, which is number 10. All right, so input those into the calculator. We have 80 plus 0.5, which is 1 over 2, times 2 times 10. And we have the answer is 90. All right, so remember the unit is meters, 90 meters. Question 14. The diagram shows a sector of a circle with center O and radius 9. So we have OP is 9 centimeters and OQ is also 9 centimeters. The length of the chord PQ, so this one is the chord, 6. And we have to calculate the length of arc PQ. So the arc would be in the red line here. All right. So it is very important to find out the angle POQ because that angle is very crucial in terms of finding out the length of arc PQ. All right, so because in this triangle, we know the length of 3 sides, so it is very easy for us to use the cosine theorem to work out the value of the angle POQ. All right, so apply cosine theorem. All right, theorem. We have the cosine of POQ is going to be OP squared plus OQ squared minus PQ squared divided by 2 times OP times OQ. Right? OQ. All right, so that one is the cosine theorem. All right, so it's time to plug these values into this equation. And we have OP is going to be 9 squared plus 9 squared minus 6 squared divided by 2 times 9 times 9. 81 plus 81 minus 36, 2 times 81. So that is 0.777. All right, so this one is a cosine, right? 0.78. 0.78. And we need to know the size of POQ. And remember that we have to change the degree. All right, so we will shift, then cosine, and then 0.78. And remember to change your calculator setting to radian. All right, because in the formula to calculate the length of the arc, then we use radian. All right, so radian once again it is 0.67. Okay, so it's going to be 68, right? 0.68 radian. All right, so it's time to use the formula for calculating the arc PQ. So the arc PQ is going to be the formula is theta times the radius. And here the theta is the angle POQ, and that is 0.68 multiplied with the radius, which is 9. 0.68 times 9, and we have 6.12. 6.12 centimeters is the answer for this question. All right, number 15. Simplify this. We know that one is the power of a product of two expressions, right? So we will take the power of each of them. So 3,125 to the power of 1 over 5 multiply with this one, 3,125 to the power of 1 over 5. So that one is going to be 3,125. All right, 3,125 to the power of 1 over 5. And we have number 5 times, because this one is power of another power, then we can simplify it in a way like we take the product of two powers. So 3,125 times 1 over 5. All right. So that one is 5W 3,125 divided by 5, which is 625. All right, so 5W to the power of 625 is the result of this question. Number 16, we have the fact that y is inversely proportional to x squared. And when x is 3, then y is 2. So find out the value of y when x is 2. All right, so we can see that from x is 3 to x is 2, then all right, so how about the value of x? How many times that it increased? So from 3 to 2, right? So that is the increase of 2 over 3. So the x increased 2 over 3 times. Then it means that the x squared increases 4 over 9 times. And it also means that because y is inversely proportional to x squared, so y would decrease 4 over 9 times. So that is the inversely proportional. That one is increase and that one is decrease. All right, so now the new value of y is going to be 2 divided by 4 over 9. And we have 4.5. All right, so 4.5 is going to be the value of y. Let's move on to the next question. Number 17. We have ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral and ABX is a straight line. All right, so ABX, straight line. It means that the sum of 4 angles, the sum of 3 angles, right? The sum of 3 angles is 180 degrees. And PQ is a tangent to the circle at A. All right, so we have PQ is a tangent, so it means it is perpendicular to the radius away. And angle CBX is 85 degrees. CBX, and BAQ is 55. BAQ. All right. CAD is 42. So now we have to find the angle CBD. All right, CBD is this one. As we can see that because ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, and the two angles CBD and CAD, they both subtended by the chord CD. So the angle CBD is equal to CAD. And we have the answer is 42 degree. All right, 42 degree. Next one, part B, angle ACB. ACB is this. ACB is this. And because one of the property of the cyclic quadrilateral is that if we have an angle that is subtended by a chord, that means a chord AB, right? So it means that this angle is equivalent to the angle between the tension and the chord AB. So that is this angle. So we have this angle equals to 55 degree. So we will write down here ACB. ACB is BAQ. And we have 55 degree. All right, the next one. Angle ADC. ADC. All right, first of all, we have to fill in the sizes of two angles. So 42 for CBD, 42, and 55. This one is 55 degree. All right, so now we have to find out the ADC. ADC is this angle. All right, so think about it. Think about the angle. The angle ADC, right? All right, so we can find out this angle because we know the sum of three angles is going to be 180. So we will try to find the size of this angle. So once we know this size of this angle, then we also know this size because the two angles B1 and C1 both are subtended by a chord, the same chord, that is AD. So when we know the size of this angle, then we will consider the triangle ACD. So we take 180 degree and subtract the C1 and then 42 degree. All right, so we will write down the ABD, right? So ABD is 180 degree minus 85 and 42. That is 53 degree. All right, so the next one is ACD, right? So we will write down here ACD is equivalent to ABD, and also the size of ACD is 53 degree. All right, so now the angle ADC, right? ADC is going to be 180 degree minus ACD. All right, ACD is 53 and then minus 42. And this is This is 85. All right, so the angle ADC is equivalent to this angle. All right. We will write down here 85 degree. And the last one. Sorry, the part D, right? We have two parts left. The angle BCD. BCD is the big one. BCD is the big one. So we take the sum of two smaller ones. That is 55 plus ACD. BCD is going to be 55 and plus the smaller one is 53. And we have 108 degree. And the last one, the angle PAD. PAD is this one. All right. So this angle, that angle is going to be the angle between the tension and the chord AD. So it is equivalent to the angle that is subtended by that chord, and that is the angle B1. So we will write down here the PAD. PAD is equivalent to ABD. And ABD is gonna be 53. All right, so the angle PAD is 53 degree. Question 18. Two solids are mathematically similar and have volumes of 81 cubic centimeters and 24 cubic centimeters. All right, so we know they are similar. The surface area of the smaller solid is 44 square centimeters. We have to calculate the surface area of the larger solid. All right, so because they are similar, so we have this equation. The area of the larger solid divided by the area of the smaller solid is equivalent to the square of the ratio between the sides. This one is the side of the large divided by the side of the small. Let's square it. And we also have the volume of the large divided by the volume of the small is going to be the cube of the ratio between the sides. All right, so it is the side of the larger one divided by the side of the smaller one cube. All right, so from these two, we can write down the relationship between the ratio of area and the ratio of the volume. All right, so the area of the large divided by the area of the small is gonna be the cube root. So first of all, we take the cube root of the volume of the large divided by the volume of the small, and then we square it, right? Because when we take the cube root of the second equation, then it will become the ratio between the two sides, and then we need to square them to make it become the ratio between the areas. All right, so it's time to plug these values into this formula. So we have the area the area of the larger solid, we don't know it, right? So we just write area of the large divided by area of the smaller solid, which is 44, is equal to cube root of the volume of the larger one, 81, divided by the volume of the smaller one. Then we take the square. All right, so it's time to use a calculator. 81 divided by 24, and then cube root of 81 divided by 24, and then square, and we have 9 over 4. 9 over 4. That means the area of the larger one is going to be 9 over 4 times 44. That is 99 square centimeters. All right. The next question. Find the values of x when 6x plus y is 10 and y is equal to this one. So it is very simple. Just plug the values of y into the second equation. All right, so from the first equation, we have y is 10 minus 6x. And plug this value into this, we have 10 minus 6x is equal to x squared minus the 3x plus 10. So we have x squared minus, all right, so it's plus 3, plus 6, and plus 3. Plus 3x is equal to 0. And this time, you don't need to apply the formula to calculating the root. So just simply factorize it. It is x and x plus 3. So we have x is 0 or x is negative 3. So when x is 0, we have y is 10 minus 0 is 10. And y is 10 minus 6 times negative 3, which is 28. Oh, because they are asking about the values of x, so we don't need to calculate the value of y. All right, so this one would be omitted. So x is 0 or x is negative 3. All right, the next question is about finding the nth term of the sequence. We have part A and part B. There are two parts about finding the nth term. All right, so first of all, we need to find out the common difference. All right, so from negative 1 to 0 is plus 1, and plus 7, plus 19, and plus, let's say, 63 minus 26, 37. All right, but because the difference here is not common, right? They're so different. So let's repeat this step one more time. From 1 to 7 is plus 6, plus 12, and plus 37 minus plus 19. All right, and up to this point, we didn't have any common difference, so we have to repeat this step one more time. All right, so 6 to 12 is plus 6, plus 6. All right, so it's time. This time we already have the common difference, which is number 6. So it means that we need to write the nth term in the form of cubic, because this one is linear, this one is quadratic, and for the original sequence, that is the cubic All right, so this is the common, the general form of a cubic sequence. an cubed plus bn squared plus cn plus d. And we need to find out the values of these coefficients a, b, c, d. All right, so first of all, we take the common difference, that is number 6, and then divide it by 6. That would be the coefficient of n cubed. So the coefficient of n cubed is going to be 6 divided by 6, and we have 1. All right, so it's time to have a table like this. The first one is un, the next one is n cubed. All right, so because we take the a and then multiply with n cubed, right? And a is 1, so we have this one is n cubed. All right, so the un is -1, 0, 7, 26, and 63. The next one, n cubed. When n is 1, then n cubed is 1. When n is 2, then n cubed is 8. And similarly, we have 4 cubed is going to be 64, and 5 cubed is 125. All right, so now we take the un and then minus the n cubed. Takes the first row minus the second row. -1 minus 1 is -2. 0 minus 8 is -8. -20. This one is 60. 26. 64. -38. 63 minus 125. -62. All right. So we have the difference between un and n cubed is this sequence, right? And we need to notice that the difference between the two terms, the two consecutive terms here is from -2 to -8. That is plus 10, right? All right, take -6 and -20 plus 8 is -12, and minus 38 plus 20 is -18, and -62 plus 38 is -24. All right, so the difference between these terms is going to be number 6. All right, we will find out the second common difference, which is number -6, -6, and -6. All right, so up to this point we have found out the common difference. Then we need to find the coefficient of the n squared. All right, so in order to do that, we take the common difference, the coefficient of n squared is going to be, take the common difference, which is -6 divided by 2. And that one is -3. So one more time, have a table. But this time, the first row is not un. The first row has to be un minus n cubed. And the second row is going to be take the coefficient and then plug into this. So we have negative 3n squared. And the last row would be the first row minus the second row. So un minus n cubed and then plus 3n squared. All right. For the first one, that is negative 2, negative 8, negative 20, negative 38, and the last one is negative 62. And for the second row, we have negative 3n squared. So for n is 1, then the first one is negative 3. For n is 2, then 2 squared is 4, and then we have negative 12. When n is 3, it is negative 27. When n is 4, it is negative 48. And when n is 5, that is negative 75. So now take the first row and then subtract the second row. Plus 3 is 1, 4, 7, 10, 62, 13. All right. So one thing you have to pay attention to is the difference, right? The difference between the two consecutive terms. Here is plus 3. All right, plus 3 and plus 3 and plus 3. All right, so now we have the common difference. The first common difference is number 3. So we can write down the linear sequence of this one. So that is 3n, right? 3n minus 2. All right, so 3n minus 2 would be the last two terms of this sequence. All right, so it's time to plug these values into the original one. So for a is 1, we have n cubed. For b is negative 3, n plus 3n minus 2. All right, so that one is the answer. So we will move this to here. The next one, question B. This one is easier than the previous one. Okay, so we have the first term is 24, then the second term is 12. So find out the difference. That is negative 12, negative 6, negative 3, negative 1.5. But we don't have any common difference, so repeat this step one more time. This one is negative 6 and then 6, right? And negative 3 plus 3. And this one is 1.5. All right, so it seems that the second term would be half of the first term. All right, so I think that we can do this problem in another way. Instead of trying to find out the common difference. All right, so here is 24 divided by 2, right? And then here is 24 divided by 2 and then divided by 2. Here is 24 divided by 2 and divided by 2 and then divided by 2. So we can write this sequence as 24 divided by 2 to the power, this one is 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3. So this one is 2 to the power of n minus 1. All right. So this one would be the term, would be the nth term for this sequence. All right. Pretty easy, huh? Number 21. A car travels 14 kilometers correct to the nearest kilometer. And this takes 12 minutes correct to the nearest meter. Calculate the lower bound of the speed of the car. All right, so we know the distance is 14 kilometers, but correct to the nearest kilometer. It means that the distance, all right, so we can write down here, the distance is always between these two bounds. The first bound is 14 minus 1 over 2. The second one is 14 minus plus 1 over 2. And remember, for the lower bound, we use a less than or equal to. For the upper bound, we use a less than sign. All right, so from this one, we can have distance is always less than 14.5 kilometers and greater or equal to 13.5 kilometers. Similarly, we have the time is greater than or equal to 12 correct to the nearest minute. So take the 1 minute divided by 2, we have 11.5 minutes, and then less than 12.5 minutes. All right, and the formula for calculating the speed is going to be the distance over time. So to have this one with a lower bound, then it means that the distance would be the minimum and the time would be the maximum. All right, so distance would be the mean of speed. All right, so when speed is mean, means lower bound is equal to distance when it is mean and the time when it is max. All right, so distance mean is 13.5 kilometers. And then the time max is 12.5 minutes. So take the 13.5 divided by 12.5. We have 1.08, and the unit is kilometers per minute. All right, question 22. The diagram shows a triangular prism ABCDQP of length 7 centimeters. The cross section is a triangle PAB. All right, so this one is a triangle with PA is 4 and AB is 5, and angle PAB is 90 degrees. All right, so this angle is 90 degrees. Calculate the angle between the line PC and the base ABCD. So first of all, connect these 2 points. All right, so the angle between the line BC and the base is going to be this angle. All right, this angle. We have to when P because PA is perpendicular to the base, so the angle between them is the angle PCA. So now we have to work out this angle. And we also know that PA is perpendicular to AC. So we have this angle is a right angle. All right, so we know the PA is 4 centimeters. So if we know one of the two other sides, then we also calculate the this angle. So it is very easy to work out the value of the diagonal AC, right? Because uh, because the base, all right, for AC, oh wait, this angle, this is 4 centimeters. And what information we know about the base? The diagram shows the triangular prism. All right, the cross section in PAB, right? So PAB is 90 degrees. All right, so it means that the base ABCD is a rectangle, so we can easily calculate the diagonal. So the AC is going to be square root of AB squared and BC squared. So that one is 5 squared plus 7 squared is going to be 74. Square root of 74. Square root of 74. That is the length of AC. All right, so now we have the AC, we have the AP. Then we can calculate the tan ACP. And the tan is going to be AP divided by AC. So plug these values into this equation. We have 4 divided by square root of 74. All right, so sheet 10, 4 divided by square root of 74. We have the value is 0.43. All right, let's see the angle. Should we give the angle in the form of degree or radian? So the angle is, I think we should change to the radian, right? So all right, so radian to the degree, and that is 24.9. So the ACP is 24.9 degree. All right, so the answer is 24.9 degree. The next one, question 23. Simplify this fraction. All right, so first of all, we have to factorize the numerator and then denominator, and then cross the terms that are similar, that are common. So the first one, let's input into the calculator to find out the two roots. So we have to input the coefficient, so 5, negative 19, and plus 12. We have 4 over 5 and 3. All right, so it means that this one has to factor, that is x minus 3 and then x minus 4 over 5. 4 over 5. But we need to have the coefficient of x is number 5. So we times 5 into this. And then 5, when it times to the second term, then then we have 5x minus 4. So put it here, 5x minus 4. All right, so we already split the numerator into the product of the two terms. So that is the first step, that is factorization. All right, so x minus 3, 5x minus 4. And divided by, this one has a form of x squared minus b squared, right? Because 9 is 3 squared. So x minus 3 and then x plus 3. And that is 5x minus 4 divided by x plus 3. All right, so this would be the final answer. Question 24. The probability of Jiamin hitting a target is 1/3. The probability that he hits the target for the first time on his nth attempt is 64 divided by 2187. Find the value of n. All right, this sentence we have to read it very carefully. The probability that he hits the target for the first time on his nth attempt. It means that for the n minus 1 attempt, then they are the failure. All right, he didn't hit the target for n minus 1 attempts. Up to the nth attempt, then that one will be the first hitting for him. So we can demonstrate the results of him like this. Like we have fail, F is for fail, right? F fail, 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 and something, and then fail, fail, and then hit. So we use F for fail, and H is for hit. And then this time is n minus 1 times. And this one is the nth time, the nth attempt. The nth attempt. All right. So we know that the probability of hitting a target is 1/3. That means the probability of failing a target is 2/3. The probability of fail is 2/3. So consider to this, we have 2/3, that is the probability of failing for the first time, and then for the second time. So 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3, and we have to repeat this one n minus 1 times. So we can write it down as 2/3 to the power of n minus 1, and then multiply with the last one, which is the hit, and hit is 1/3. And we have the probability is 64 divided by 2187. So it's time to solve for this. 2/3 to the power n minus 1 is 64 over 2187 divided by 1/3. And we have 64 divided by 729. All right, so now n minus 1 is going to be the log, right? The log of n minus 1 is going to be the log of 64, 729 divided by the log 2/3. And then plus 1, this one, n is equal to All right, so take the log of the answer, or of course, take the log of 64 divided by 729, and then divided by the log of 2/3. We have the answer is number 6, and then plus 1, that is number 7. So n is 7. The last one, we have the function f of x is the x cubed plus 1. Find the inverse function of f. All right, so we can think about it as a function machine, right? So here is the input. It goes to the function that is cube, and then it goes to another one is add 1 plus 1, right? First we cube the x, and then we add 1, and then we have the output. So now we have to find out the inverse function. Inverse means opposite. So we will go from right to left. All right, so this one is the in. Then we have plus 1. Then the inverse of plus 1 is minus 1. The inverse of cube would be the cube root. And then we have the output. All right, so for example, we have x is the input, and then we have the minus 1, so x minus 1, and then we take the cube root, which is this. All right, so this one is pretty simple, right?